when we look at the sustainability, we have to look at all these 5 dimensions, as well as the three order effect. What will be the first order, like immediate effect? What will be the rebound effect when we use those systems? So we are increasing the usage of this kind of like a compute power, and then it will create a rebound effect. And then we have to encounter those ones.
Not everyone makes the news, but behind every growth-driving experience, product, and transformation are experts who shape the outcome. Welcome to Behind the Growth, a podcast for digital leaders and those aspiring to become one. Each episode features a candid conversation with a remarkable individual. Join us as we focus on their struggles, wins, and lessons learned you won't find anywhere else. Let's get started.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Behind the Growth. I'm your host, Imran Mian. Today we delve into a narrative that underscores Canada's pivotal role in the global AI landscape, a journey marked by innovation, collaboration, and a profound commitment to excellence. In 2017, this commitment was epitomized by the formation of the Vector Institute, a beacon of AI research and development. The Institute not only catalyzed groundbreaking advancements in artificial intelligence, but also fostered an ecosystem where talent, industry, and academia converge to redefine the boundaries of what's possible. In the heart of this remarkable institute's endeavors stands a figure synonymous with leadership, innovation, and empowerment. Dr. Sedef serves as the Director of Professional Development at the Vector Institute. Her journey is a testament to her unwavering dedication and profound impact on the AI community. Recognized as one of the top 100 women advancing AI and a finalist for Women in North America, AI in North America, as well as being nominated for the DMZ Women of the Year. Sedef's contributions illuminate the path for aspiring professionals in the field. Today, we're honored to have Dr. Sedef with us to share her insights, experiences, and ideas on how the power of AI can address sustainability and climate crisis. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sedef to our show.
Thank you, Imran. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. So let's start with a little bit about yourself. Take us through your journey. What inspired you to get involved with AI?
Thank you so much. So, hello. It was really inspiring, as you mentioned, being in this environment, but I'm leading the professional development team at Vector, which combines academic rigor with practical application to drive business value to our industry companies, small and medium-sized enterprises, and other partners that desire to get more training, like more advanced technology, learn more advanced technology. So I think that is my desire right now as a director of the professional development.
Yeah.
But before that, I was at the Vector again as a project manager and technical translator, and engaged with our industry partners to see, there is a gap between the technology advancement or research, which is developed by our researchers or our machine learning researchers around the globe, and then industry applications. So that inspired me to, with being in the project manager, and try to be a bridge between technology advancement and industry implementations.
Amazing. But I mean, just going back to your academia or academic years, just maybe touch upon a little bit how you decided to pursue a PhD and then do an MBA at the same time. This is a very huge task and no small undertaking, right?
Yeah, thank you so much. So as you mentioned, I completed my PhD at the Data Science Lab at Toronto Metropolitan University, also known as Ryerson University. When I started my journey on the PhD, before that, so I was always be inspired by the academic world and to be a part of that academic world and to be contribute to the research. And then I started my journey in 2012. And then when I started my PhD, and then I realized that there isn't many contributions related to software design, awareness of the sustainability. So this is how I started my journey. And then my research was focusing on sustainability design in software intensive systems. And when I was doing my research, and then I realized that the machine learning algorithms might help me to develop a model for how the software systems would consume energy and then contribute to sustainability. So this is how I started to learn about machine learning, actually, how I can
Fascinating.
apply those algorithms. And then I start reading Introduction to Machine Learning book. And then once my supervisor, she introduced me the concept, and then I start, taking from there. And then I start to learn the foundation. And then I developed my own algorithm at that time, like not
Oh,
algorithm,
wow.
but the model that I could predict the consumption of the software system. So this is how I started. And then I start my journey of teaching data science and analytics, which is also its foundation of some of the statistical model and statistical prediction, as well as the traditional machine learning.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's very, very inspiring. So, before we get into the world of sustainability and AI's application to resolve some of those challenges, let's talk a little bit about the Vector Institute. Maybe just walk our listeners through what the Vector Institute is about and what are the primary focus areas that you guys focus on.
Absolutely. So Vector Institute was founded in 2017 as a part of the Pan-Canadian AI strategy to lead the Canada's in the global AI revolution, as we say. So Vector is an independent, non-for-profit research institute. And our vision is to drive excellence and leadership in Canada's knowledge and use of AI to foster economic growth and improve the lives of Canadians. So we work together with our AI Institute partners who are in the other side of the other part of the Canada, with industry sponsors, including public and academic institutions, as well as the industries, to ensure that they have the people, they have skill and resources at the use of AI. And then we have industry partners from many different industries, ranging from financial industry to manufacturing, from healthcare to big tech companies. And we have more than 30 enterprise level industry partners, as well as more than 300 startups and scale-ups and small and medium-sized enterprises have been supported by Vector's different programs.
And that's fantastic. I believe the Vector Institute definitely set Canada on a path for leadership in this space. How does the Institute, I guess, collaborate not just with the ecosystem in Canada, but as part of the global AI community?
Yeah, this is a great question. So within the collaboration, so we have several key avenues. So first and foremost, as you mentioned, the research and innovation collaborations. So our researchers and our faculty members, they are advancing the deep learning research. And they publish top machine learning conferences and journals to push boundaries and be the inspiration to other researchers in the field. So by pushing the boundaries, that means that they contribute to the new knowledge and technologies that have global impact to the advancement of the machine learning. And then they collaborate with other researchers around the world. So, and then another collaboration that I mentioned is with our industry partners. So we collaborate with them through our collaboration applied AI project. So the companies, obviously, they have different business problems, but they would like to learn more about how might those problems can be solved by AI technologies, if there is any kind of a technology exist, or how can they learn more about those kind of technologies, and then they could advance their skills and potentially use those technologies. So we work with them with the specific problems or similar use cases and explore different machine learning techniques to solve problems and increase their AI capacity and create a potential for significant impact. Another collaboration, and we are having collaborations. So we have recognized AI master programs within the Canada and different universities, and we collaborate with them to increase the Canada's AI talent. So far in this year, there are around 1,400 master's AI students that are registered for those programs, and they are now in their program, either like first year or second year. And then we are working with those recognized programs and try to increase the Canadian AI talent. Of course, like hopefully, and we've seen in the past, like more than maybe 80 to 90% are staying in Canada, and they contribute to either being within the industry or staying in academia.
Yeah, that's absolutely phenomenal. And I do hope that our universities start to offer AI related programs at the undergraduate level as well. So I hope that is something that is on the roadmap hopefully soon. Yeah, so I wanted to just ask before we move on to the second topic is how does somebody, you said you have almost 300 startups that are part of the ecosystem. How does a startup or a company who wants to become part of the community, what are the ways they can get involved with the Vector Institute?
Yes, that's a great question. So we have started a program. It's called Fast Lane. One of the ways that small and medium-sized enterprises or startups and scale-ups can be a part of the Vector's ecosystem through our Fast Lane program. The Fast Lane program started around like 1.5 years ago, almost 2 years. And that program, we packaged with our expertise in the area of different areas, and our researchers and our AI engineering team, our project management team, and we have different programs. For example, as I mentioned, collaborative project, as well as our education programs related to different fields of AI. And we package those ones, and then we help small and medium-sized companies who are registered for the Fast Lane program. And then they can be part of the package, and then they could either send their data scientists or machine learning professionals to work on the collaborative project, or they can be a part of those education sessions or training sessions or seminar sessions that we have almost every other month. So they can be a part of this program and then register some of those projects as well as education programs. They can learn from our researchers, they can learn from our experts, as well as they can learn from peers when they work within the collaborative project.
Wonderful. Well, let's switch gears a little bit. AI, has the potential to pretty much address any challenges that we can think of. But today, obviously, we want to focus on sustainability. And I know this is your passion as well. So in my previous episode, I had another guest and we talked about this global challenge that we face. In that discussion, in that conversation, we talked about the transition cost from fossil fuels to a sustainable planet. The cost is in like trillions of dollars, and we touched upon who and where this money is going to come from to help transition to more green tech world. But today, let's delve into the power of AI and how can AI be leveraged, and what are some of the use cases, and what kind of research has been done so far on this topic.
Yeah, thank you so much, Imran. So as you mentioned, sustainability has been a passion for me since I started my PhD work. And then the question I would say is, can human and AI work together to solve wicked problems, so such as climate change? And how might we contribute to the sustainability? So those are like very big questions. And when we think about the sustainability, we usually focus on environment and climate. But there are actually 5 dimensions of the sustainability, including social, economic, technical, and individual. And then there are many ways AI could be a beneficial, like, for example, like forecasting, like solar power, or predicting extreme events, carbon price, and data mining and generation, like a disaster response, urban planning, as well as optimization. Optimization is a huge challenge, especially in the energy sector. How to balance the supply and demand of electricity, especially with the penetration of the renewable sources that are pretty much like a variable and intermittent, right? So we can use, for example, distributed energy resource management system that they are very active area of advancement. So maybe I'll give you one example from our collaborative project at Vector. So we work with our industry peers and Vector researchers, and they work together using computer vision technique on satellite high resolution images to co-develop a solution towards identifying and mitigating climate change risk. And then within this example, we work with 9 different companies. They are actively participating in this effort. And then their aim is to distribute these efforts. And then we're going to hopefully open up the know-how in the public domain soon. Another example that I really would like to give you is a real-world example from our collaboration with TELUS Communication and Vector Institute. And we worked on heating and cooling services of the data center. So as you can imagine, heating and cooling services are used in millions of buildings around the world. And the project, inspired by DeepMind and Google system energy reduction using reinforcement learning in 2018. And then the use case was under TELUS's AI for Good program to align with its sustainability goal of reducing their energy intensity by 2030. And then in this collaboration, we used model-based reinforcement learning, which is one of the 3 basic machine learning systems, and fine-tune the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system across the network locations. And that allows for energy efficient temperature control. And then the reinforcement learning is a type of machine learning where model learns from its environment by interacting and receiving feedback, such as rewarding desired behaviors or like a punishment with the negative behavior. And then TELUS piloted this project, and then the pilot results show that around 12% in reduced annual energy consumption in a small data center. So which was really inspired and then, important because there are, lots of challenges around, the data, the quality data, and working with the subject matter experts and working with the health weather data, working with the data from the data center. So those are obviously like data challenges and business challenges and maturity challenges and infrastructure challenges. But we managed to complete with this within a reasonable time. Of course, like this pilot is still ongoing within the different data center at TELUS. But we work with those teams. So hopefully they will be able to implement those into the other data centers within the TELUS, and maybe other telecommunication industry will inspire from the results.
Yeah, absolutely. As you were explaining this use case, I was thinking about the GPUs, the manufacturing of GPUs. And, since we're on the topic of data centers, there's going to be so many GPUs, and AI is all about compute power, right? So AI in itself is going to be causing some of that challenge that we're trying to address. So how do you see, I guess, the optimization and energy conservation around the GPUs and so on?
Yes, that's right. So there are many research going on, like how to assess the impact of those, computing power. For example, right now, large language models is a, very popular, and then everybody try to push the boundaries and using as many computing power as much as they can to, develop those big large language models. But on the hindsight is that, by using those or training those models creates a huge energy consumption. So as I mentioned, there are certain groups are looking at those kind of challenges. And then, as I mentioned that earlier, when we look at the sustainability, we have to look at all these 5 dimensions, as well as the three order effect. What will be the first order, like immediate effect? What will be the rebound effect when we use those systems? So we are increasing the usage of this kind of like a compute power, and then it will create a rebound effect. And then we have to encounter those ones. So I know that one of our faculty member, actually, he is working on different optimization techniques, and his team from University of Toronto. So they are looking, as I mentioned, at different optimization techniques, and then they are recommending recommending different ways to optimize the model training, optimize the fine tuning. So then the developers would see how much they're consuming when they are releasing or they are training different models. And then their framework also give the recommendations to the developers what to do, like how to do to mitigate those big energy consumption.
Yeah, you mentioned there are 5 dimensions of sustainability, and one of them is social, right? I assume, we can do a podcast on each of those 5 dimensions as a series, but just briefly maybe talk about the social aspect. Do you mean like there's the industry part where it's about carbon footprint, etc., and energy conservation, but there's also the society and the individuals. And everybody has to come together to create a win-win and a viable and sustainable planet. What are some of the things that you see, like in terms of the trends or possibilities in the realm of like society? How can AI be implemented or leveraged in that regard?
Yeah, that's a good question too. So again, like sustainability is a big topic. So when we narrow it down to those 5 dimensions, when we look at the social impact, so those kind of technical systems, like the social impact could be inequalities, when we think about developing those kind of systems. So then we need to think about the impact of within the society, as well as some society, they may not have access to those, techniques or access to the data or access to this. So it may create an inequality. So we need to think about this one. Again, when we think about AI systems, when they develop, not recently, it's been around. AI system has been around for a long time, but past several years, we are now talking about safety and trustworthy development and application of the AI systems. So this is also important. We at Vector, we recently released our trust and safety principles to help our ecosystem, maybe as a starting point or as a guideline. So they need to consider those principles when they are developing or ideating or implementing or using AI systems. For example, AI should benefit human and the planet. AI systems should be designed to reflect democratic values and then must reflect the privacy and security interest of the individuals. So it'll very important in this case. And then those kind of systems remain robust, secure, and safe throughout their life cycle. So sometimes we think about, okay, so we build those systems, but those systems are actually living systems. They're not once in a while that we go back and then look at what's happening. So they are living systems. So we have to make sure that we have to maintain their security and the robustness throughout their life cycle. And of course, like the organizations also should be accountable when they are building those kind of systems or implementing systems and using those systems to make sure that all the benefits for the humans and the planet and reflect the democratic values.
Fascinating. We're coming up on our time for today's episode. Before we wrap things up, I wanted to ask you one final question, and that is, what advice would you give to young women who might consider a career in tech and AI?
Thank you for asking, Imran, because I've been working with so many young women and early career women to make sure that, they understand this environment. And one thing that really, really great about being a woman in this field is that the unique perspective that you bring. It is like adding a new color to a painting, right? So you make everything more vibrant, diverse. And always remember that the AI is a team sport, which is a key. So it emphasizes the need for collaboration across so many disciplines, not only technical disciplines, not only STEM disciplines, but also other disciplines, for example, social sciences such as sociology, behavioral science, law, ethics, economics, and so on. But of course, it's not all about knowing like a foundation. I think the first, getting a good foundation of the subject, whatever subject you're doing. So whether it's through your school or like online courses or just maybe driving into books and videos, having solid foundation about like AI is also good advice, because even if you're not working with the technical environment, but you will be dealing with the these systems and the technologies and so on. So you need to learn the literacy, and whether you're working with the like a different teams, and you will be able to speak with the same language. And then maybe last two ones is networking is a very important aspect. I cannot stress enough how helpful it is to connect with the mentors and peers. It's like finding your tribe, right? And there are many ways that I can think of. For example, women in AI, women in technology, women in robotics, and so on. And there are also programs for early career women. For example, I've been mentoring in the AI for Good Lab for more than 3 years now. The program provides 7-8 weeks of foundation of AI and machine learning, along with a group project where you can work with other early career women within the group. And then you develop you work in the important projects. So this is very important. I guess those are the ones that I can recommend. But again, think about, even if you are not know about any technologies, and you don't have to code, but you have to know all the AI foundations and literacy, and you have to see how they can bring their skills and how they can, what kind of transition skills that they have, so that they can be a contribute to this AI world and then the development of these technologies.
Well, thank you so much for that wonderful advice and very thoughtful discussion. I appreciate you taking the time with us. And of course, to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. I hope today's discussion with Sedef has given you a deeper understanding of the role the Vector Institute plays in advancing Canada as a hub for AI innovation, some of the use cases that can help address the climate crisis. So with that, we'll be back with another episode soon, bringing more engaging and thought-provoking content your way. Until then, take care, stay curious. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Behind the Growth. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow along on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. This podcast is brought to you by Mobile Live, a team of digital experts bringing intelligence and efficiency to how businesses sell, serve, and save. For more episodes of Behind the Growth, please visit mobilelive.ca/podcast.